Been a while since I've done a video, but I was sitting around playing two guitars, and I thought, I need to get this other one out, and I need to get this D-45S. This is a D-45S Authentic. It's been in a couple of videos. I haven't brought it out in a while because I've been too busy doing other things. But I want to measure the neck on this guitar because it is absolutely the massivest neck, biggest, fattest neck I've ever had on a new Martin. I think maybe I might have played a pre-war or something with it had a neck that big. I don't know. Anyway, I wanted to measure it, so I thought, I should go ahead and record that D45 against this D41A, this D41, D28, 41, Authentic. I just want to cut to the chase and say 41A. But then half of the people out there go, why can't you be more specific? Say it specifically. It's a 41A. 45S. I think that's a 36 copy. I don't even remember. It's the 45S, okay, as opposed to the 42. And then I've got the CS BG16 sitting back here. I was playing it back and forth with this 41A yesterday, trying to figure out which one I actually liked better. And the CS is going to be the winner. But I thought, this is interesting, Now, the thing about this, the biggest difference in these guitars, really, in the playing field is the necks. And the 41A has got this super skinny neck. And I'm going to put the neck charts up here, so you're going to see. I'm going to measure the width, and I'm going to measure the depth. And the depth is the real depth. I take the calipers with the strings on and everything, and I measure from this way. Smash the string down to the fret and measure. It's a quick and easy measurement to give you the actual feel of the neck. Anyway, the 41A, it's got this thin neck. The CSBG has got the dreaded MLO neck, which I love. I get along so good with that neck. And then this 45A has got the biggest, massive, chunkiest neck. And honestly, that's why I don't play it that much. Because it's just too girthy for me to play leads on. It's good rhythm, but anyway. Alright, let's just play. And I'm just going to play, I'm going to play some different stuff. So here we go. I might put the blooper in the end. I started off trying to play this guitar, and I absolutely totally forgot how Keep on the Sunny Side goes. It was nuts. I mean, I played that every single video, and it just went kapoom because I had wildwood flower in my brain, and I couldn't do it. Okay, so these guitars, I've already got the D-45 in my hand, so let's just talk about it first. First of all, what we got on this guitar is a forward X, fully scalloped, bigger body, has a popsicle brace on it, which it historically shouldn't. And there's some debate about that. But anyways, John Arnold thinks that the guitar they used for the model had a popsicle brace added to it at one time, because in 36 it shouldn't have a popsicle brace. But anyways, it has a popsicle brace. But it's just the main difference here is this is a forward X, fully scalloped, regular sound hole. It's also Brazilian rosewood, but I don't feel like the Brazilian rosewood is that big of a difference between this and the CS. The CS is Guatemalan rosewood, and I think we should tap the backs on these since I have 3 different kinds of rosewoods here. This is an interesting thing to do besides just the playing. So to me, the biggest difference on this guitar versus the CX is the CS has got a large sound hole. The CS has also got a torrefied red spruce top. Got some other small things on it, but the biggest thing to me sitting here as a player is the sound hole size. And I'm hearing the typical smaller sound hole where this guitar doesn't quite have the mid-range and the treble bite. It's really good guitar. My main complaint on this guitar is absolutely simply the neck. And the neck is so big on this thing that it's just not comfortable for me to play. And the thing is, I love the neck that's on the CS, and that's an MLO neck, which so many people hate because it's slim and the taper is even. But that is something that I really, really like because it makes it easier for me to go up and down the neck without having to deal with this taper that I've talked about many times. You start here, and your hands here, and then you go up the neck, and it's like this, and you have this effective action. Even if the strings are sitting on the fingerboard, your hand is like this as opposed to this, and it's just not as easy for me to work with as keeping a consistent feel. So, I feel like the neck on this guitar is by far the biggest detriment to me playing it all the time. I really personally like 45s. I like the bling. I like the craftsmanship, the workmanship that goes into the 45. The guitar that still, makes my heart go tick 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 is something like a D42 Sunburst, and the dark Sunburst that makes that pearl or abalone just pop. Oh, those are such good looking guitars, You just can't ever find one in the kind of woods and stuff I like. But as far as looks go, something like a D42 Sunburst is just really, really good looking guitar. I had a D35, HD35 Sunburst, and that one was pretty good, but I like the abalone. So, I like this guitar. The neck is uncomfortable, and it's just, I don't feel like the sound on this guitar is dramatically better than anything else in here. These others, you tell me, but the Brazilian rosewood is not an automatic, through the roof game changer, not compared to these other rosewoods. So, anyway, that's a good guitar. It's just, I don't like the neck on it. I'm really anxious to get the 42 D45 back because it had a much slimmer neck and it had rear X bracing, and I'm really interested in playing it again, but there's going to be a story behind it. Alright, so here is the CS BZ16. And this, I think, is still my overall favorite among all of these 3. It's still my favorite new Martin guitar now that I've had it in my hands for a while. I get along so good with the neck. Yes, it's a little slim, We'll look at the chart. We'll see the width, and you can see where it compares to these other ones. It's mostly just a slim taper. It's an even taper. Sound-wise, sitting here playing this, when I came off of the 41A, the first thing I noticed was how powerful this guitar is. Sitting under my chin like this, I feel the power coming up off of it, especially on the mid-range. When I was playing the Fireball Male thing, you know, the first little G-lick thing I did, this guitar just had more power, more punch, you know. It's great. Got a forward X bracing, torrefied red spruce top. I cut a long saddle in it. It originally comes with a short one. I took the popsicle brace out and I shaved the 2 rear back braces on it. So this one's modified a little bit, and we did change the pickguard on it too. So this one's a little bit modified, but coming off of the 41A onto this one, when I was doing Salt Creek, the cross-picking section of this was like 50% easier. On the 11/16" neck, especially on that 41A with the thinner neck, I always feel really cramped, and I really got to get in there and get very precise on that G-shape cross-picking deal. And when I picked up this guitar, it was just like, you know, it was so easy. I mean, I was just, there's room for error. I want to say I'm sloppy on it. I am sloppy, but there's room for error on here that you can still pull it off. And when I got to this, it's just like, oh man, cross picking on the 1 3/4" neck is just so forgiving. And the same thing on the 45, except the 45 I'm dealing with the depth of that neck a little bit. Whereas this one is just, it was so good on cross picking. Consequently, I would tend to do more of it. This is still my favorite. This is still it. Now, the 41 though, 41A's got some game. I'm not downplaying this guitar at all. A lot of you might like the sound of this one better, and I got no argument with that. This is a good sounding guitar. It has rear X brace, fully scalloped. This one's stock. It still has a popsicle brace on it. It comes with short back brace. There's nothing to do. This one's completely stock, except for I changed the pins, but that's no big deal. This one's got compared to the CS, has got a more, what I would almost call it a mellower sound, because of the smaller sound hole. My experience with smaller sound holes is that's what they do, is they push out more, they compress the sound. So they tend to take your sound inside the guitar, I think, and push it out in the sound. So it comes out less clear, less defined. That's the word I want, defined. Less defined and more mushed together, which sounds negative, but more together sounding. Not a bad thing. I thought for the rhythm, this one sounded really good, but again, when I went back to the CS, and I was going back and forth between them here, so I'd play one, play the other, play this one, and then do the next set. So when I picked this one up, it was like, yeah, this guitar is still good, you know, but it doesn't have quite. It's pretty good, but it doesn't have quite the mid-range pop of that CS. And of course the neck. The neck was fine on doing single note stuff like the it's fine on that. But when I went to the cross picking section on there, like I said, it's tight. I gotta really pull my fingers up and really get it right. And I don't have much room in there. It's not forgiving on cross picking stuff. Consequently, I would tend to be more linear on this guitar. The neck has got a good shape. I just wish it was a little bit fatter right up in here. And when you see the chart, you're going to see that this is the skinniest one between the 1st and the 5th frets. And then it becomes fatter than the CS from here to here. Whereas the CS is more linear. The CS is actually fatter up here and thinner up here. So if they would have just taken some of this mass right here and scooted it off over here to the first 3 frets, this would be an outstanding neck. Basically, they just take a 70s neck, you know. All right, let's tap the backs on these a little bit so you can hear the differences between the Madagascar, Guatemalan, and Brazilian rosewoods, okay? They've all got low back braces. The CS is modified, but it's still good enough to compare here. So I'm going to tap the backs on these a couple times. Listen to the tap tone on that. I'm just going to use my finger. I wish I had the hammer, but I don't. It's out in the shop. So we're just going to use my finger and listen to the pitch, the tone, the response of these things. Okay? Here we go. This is Madagascar rosewood. Here's the 73 D-45A, just going through those licks. I don't want to go back in and mix them in, so, but you can hear it. I got it in my hands, so might as well listen to it. Sound-wise, 73 certainly is a punchy guitar. You know, it's got the thicker spruce. It's a little bit harsh compared to the red spruce tops. And it's got the 111/16 neck, so I noticed a little bit on the cross picking, but it's a more comfortable neck than the 41A, so I get along better with this. I would put comfort-wise, I would put this guitar in between the 41A and the CS. Sound-wise, it's a good guitar. It doesn't quite have all the, what can I say, the moxie, the bells and whistles. It's got a different sound than the red spruce tops, and you can hear that on there. You know, like I said, it's a little bit harsh, but for the for the amount of money I have in this thing, man, it's a killer. You know. This is good one. I like this one. It's easy to play. Every time I pick this guitar up, the 73, I think, this one sounds good. Good sounding guitar. So, all right, that's about it. I'm going to get the I've already put the neck data up and everything. So yeah.